Today is going to be very high 30s, maybe even 40 degrees Celsius. And the bees are really struggling. They've come out of the hive and it's starting to fan it. That's how they cool down. You can see the bees are hot and bothered at the moment. They're starting to cluster at the front, fanning themselves to cool down. So hopefully, as the sun's setting, I have got a little bit of water there, but I want to create a watering system that can last for a few weeks on end without me having to refill it, but something that the bees won't drown in. Will you stop pecking me? I've seen a few different types on Google Images. Big bowls filled with marbles or rocks, something with floating corks. And I think the floating corks idea is really cool, but I was worried about the glues that you would have to use to make like a raft to bind it all together. So I didn't want to do that. And where we are, wine doesn't really come with a cork anymore. It's all screw top, so it would be something that I'd have to go out and purchase, and I didn't want to have to do that. What else have I seen? I think that was it. But a while ago on Facebook I saw a really cool idea about repurposing one of those foam tiled mats that you use for kids, like the ABC mats. We never bought those, but I did get this in a craft pack for the kids, which is a really thin foam. It's a high density foam. But it's really thin, and I thought that I could use this in the same way. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bucket. Now I wanted to use a 20 litre bucket, but there's no food in there. But my foam wasn't big enough to cover the surface of it. So I thought one of these 2 litre buckets is enough, because they don't really drink that much to begin with, but if I just top this up weekly it should be enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace the bottom of the bucket onto the foam, because that's going to give me the narrowest diameter of the bucket, and then I'm going to cut it out. Does that meet, your inspections? Like, is that okay, supervisor? Can I have this? The other thing I want to do when Paul gets home is put up some shade for them. They're in direct sunlight at the moment, and where we are they should really be getting afternoon shade. So if you're somewhere with a hot climate like we have, afternoon shade is ideal, and morning sun is preferable as well, which they all get, but they don't get the shade. So if we can just put up the umbrella, that would be awesome in providing them a bit of reprieve from this hot, harsh sun that we get here in Australia. So I've got my disc, and basically I'm going to punch holes into it, and you could also cut them really. This will just give the bee somewhere to land and then to drink the water from. If you don't have a beehive, you can still do this for the wild bees. They still need to get some water to drink, especially on these really hot days. So it's a really good idea for insects in your region. So it's not pretty, but I think it'll be really effective. I was considering using bubble wrap as well. I don't see why that wouldn't work. The bubbles would aid in flotation and give the bees somewhere to land. Is that right? Well, I think it passes the chicken test. They seem to be intrigued by this. So I think that should work. I don't see why that wouldn't work for the bees. And now the cows are in the orchard where they shouldn't be, which is why the cows have been mooing all day. I had a quick look for them before, but I couldn't see them. But now they're right down here. Really? I'm not qualified for this stuff. I can do sheep, but I can't do cows.
You got to stick to qualified. Tap them on the butt.
I tapped him on the butt and he ran the wrong way. It's too long, the grass here. Snakey, snakey, go away. Go, come on. Come on.
Come on. Come on.
Moo yourself.
That's the weekend's job.
It's our anniversary on the weekend.
Huh?
It's our anniversary on the weekend.
This weekend.
You suck.
Who's playing
Yeah, tell him he sucks. Get a lot of people asking me how we keep our sheep in and our sheep out. And it's using this thing, it's called a cattle grid. The sheep can't walk over it because they don't like putting their feet down in here. And they don't feel secure putting their feet on here. So we've got a couple of these throughout the property so they don't come into our house paddock and they don't exit our property through the cattle grid or the driveway. But they do find other ways to get out, like the fences. I finally got my order from the Diggers Club. I ordered this 2 months ago. I have a subscription with them, and with that I have a 2-year subscription, and with that I get a percentage off my plants and my seeds. Yes. And I also get 8 packets of free seeds a year, and you get to choose which seeds you want. They have a set lot of seeds and you can pick and choose which ones you want. So I chose some and I had to ring up. It was actually, this is the only time I've had an issue with the Diggers Club, but I had to ring up and see where my order was because it wasn't sent out. But they finally sent it out, so I'm going to open it up and hopefully I got the seeds that I chose. I did! So I got a Casper eggplant. Now that's too late to plant for this year, which is a shame. But that's the white eggplant. I got basil. This one's Fino Verde. So I can plant some of those. Tomato, brandy wine pink. Too late to plant these for this season, so that's a shame. And cucumber, sweet and striped. I'll pop some of those in and hopefully we get a few of those, but I'll save most of those seeds for next year. I've got 50 seeds in there, so I'll pop a few in the ground. I might even do that today. I've got a few spare spots, and then I might sprinkle some basil around too, and hopefully we get some of these seeds come up. It's not too late and too hot for them to germinate. I had my first okra flower today and it was absolutely beautiful. It was too hot to cook today, so Paul bought a hot chook and we're going to have salad wraps for dinner tonight. See a wombat just down by the fence there. Can I get out? They're one of my favourite Aussie animals. So this is our last attempt of catching yabbies. Nothing. Nothing. That is the sound of summer in Australia. Cicadas.